والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه ثم أما بعد. We'll continue in class in the explanation of the book Umdat Al-Ahkam by Al-Hafidh Abdul Ghani bin Abdul Wahid Al-Maqdisi rahimahullah ta'ala. We're still in the book of the prayer, and we're in the chapter regarding the obligation to complete and fulfill and have tranquility and calmness and concentration and when doing ruku' and sujood, bowing down and prostration. So the author rahimahullah, he said on Abi Hurayrah radiyallahu anhu, under the authority of Abi Hurayrah radiyallahu anhu. Before we start, we did mention that this is the only hadith. There's only one hadith in the chapter, and we did read the hadith in the previous class, and we mentioned most of the benefits and most of the points regarding this hadith, but we still have some more things to mention. So inshallah we will read the hadith one more time and mention those benefits, because this is a very beneficial hadith. It is a long hadith and it's very beneficial, and we should pay attention to it. We should understand it. We should understand the benefits that come from it, because it talks about something that is a pillar of the salah, or about things that are a pillar and an obligation in the salah. Without them, the salah would not be correct and would not be complete. And so we should understand them in order for us to pray properly and correctly. So the author rahimahullah, he said on Abi Hurayrah radiyallahu anhu, under the authority of Abi Hurayrah, may Allah be pleased with him, أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم دخل المسجد, that the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم, he entered into the masjid. فدخل رجل فصلى, so a man, he came and he prayed. ثم جاء فسلم على النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, and then he came and gave the greeting to the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم, and he said salam to the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم. فرد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم السلام, so the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم responded to his salam. فقال, النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم said to him, ارجع فصلي فإنك لم تصلي, he said to him, go back and pray because you did not pray. فرجع الرجل فصلى كما كان صلى أو كما صلى, so the man went back and he prayed the same way that he prayed the first time. ثم جاء فسلم على النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, and then he came back and he gave the greeting to the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم. فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وعليك السلام, ثم قال ارجع فصلي فإنك لم تصلي, so the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم replied and responded to his greeting, to his salam, and he said to him, go back and pray because you did not pray. And he repeated that 3 times. And then after that, the man, he said to the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم, والذي بعثك بالحق ما أحسن غيره فعلمني, so he swore by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said to him, by the one who sent you with the truth, I don't know anything better than that. I don't know how to pray better than that, so teach me. So the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, فقال إذا قمت إلى الصلاة فكبر, he said, if you stand to the prayer, then make takbir, say Allahu Akbar. This is takbirat al-ihram, the takbir in the beginning of the salah. ثم اقرأ ما تيسر معك من القرآن, and then recite whatever is possible for you from the Quran. ثم اركع حتى تطمئن راكعا, and then prostrate until you complete bow down until you completely bow down, and until you are completely in the bowing position. ثم ارفع حتى تعتدل قائما, and then stand up until you completely stand up. ثم اسجد حتى تطمئن ساجدا, and then prostrate until you completely prostrate. You're completely in the position of prostration. ثم ارفع حتى تطمئن جالسا, and then raise your head and sit until you completely sit, until you're fully and completely in a sitting position. وافعل ذلك في صلاتك كلها, and then repeat all of that in your entire prayer. And this hadith is agreed upon. So some of the benefits, and we did talk about many of the benefits and some of the points of disagreement between the people of knowledge from this hadith. But some of the benefits that we should know from this hadith is that what is mentioned in this hadith are the pillars of salah. The things that are mentioned in this hadith are the pillars of salah, and one should not leave any of them, neither out of forgetfulness or out of ignorance. And the salah is not correct without bringing forth all of those pillars. And those pillars that are mentioned are takbirat al-ihram, saying Allahu Akbar in the beginning of the first rak'ah, the first unit of the prayer. only. And then the recitation of Surah Al-Fatiha in every unit of the prayer, in every rak'ah. And as was mentioned, that Surah Al-Fatiha was not mentioned in this specific narration, but there are other narrations in which Surah Al-Fatiha, the recitation of Surah Al-Fatiha, is mentioned. Also, going down to the position of ruku' and completing the position of ruku', and then standing up and completing to be completely in the position of standing up, and then going down to prostration and to sujood, and to completely be in the position of sujood, and then to completely be in this to get up from sujood and to sit, and to be completely in the position of sitting, and to have tranquility, and to have to have calmness, and all of those actions, even in raising one's head from ruku' and from sujood, for standing up and sitting, and especially those because they are mentioned, and especially those because many people are they are heedless of those positions. Meaning when they come up from the position of ruku' and bowing down, they stand up, and some people they immediately go down. They barely raise their heads and they go down directly to sujood. And likewise, raising one's head between the two sajadat. Some people they do it so quick, they feel like they are playing in their prayer, and that is not correct. And rather, one should be in that position, and one should get into the position completely and fully. And as was mentioned, some of the people of knowledge, they say that it is not an obligation to do so, meaning in those positions to complete them and to do them correctly, and rather it is recommended. However, this hadith is an evidence that it is a pillar of the salah and that it is an obligation to complete those positions. And there are other pillars that are not mentioned in this hadith, such as the making tashahhud, tahiyyat, saying tahiyyatu lillahi was salawatu wa tayyibat, the known tashahhud in the salah, and likewise as-salah ala nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam at the end of the salah, saying Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad to the end of as-salawah al-Ibrahimiyya, as-salah ala nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and also making taslim, saying assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Those are not mentioned. Those are pillars of the salah that are not mentioned in this hadith. And Nawawi rahimahullah, he said they were known to the person who asked, to this companion, may Allah be pleased with him, who asked the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam by saying, I don't know how to pray better than this, so teach me. They were known to him, and that's why the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam omitted them and did not mention them. Also, that we collect from this hadith that those actions are done in every unit of the prayer, except of course takbirat al-ihram, saying Allahu Akbar in the beginning of the salah. This is only in the first rak'ah. And the hadith shows us that some of the people of knowledge, they say the things that are not mentioned in this hadith are not considered obligatory in the salah. However, that is after collecting all of the different narrations, all of the different wordings of the hadith. So that one does not leave one of them and says that this is not mentioned in this hadith. And the hadith is an evidence that it is obligatory to do the actions of the salah in the correct order. Because the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, for example, إِذَا قُمْتَ إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ فَكَبِّرْ, if you stand up to the prayer, then say takbir. ثُمَّ قَرَأ, thumma, the word thumma, and then recite, and then go down to ruku', and then get up from ruku', and so on and so forth. So saying thumma, the word thumma in Arabic, it is clearly, it has an order, meaning that one thing comes after the other. And this hadith is an evidence that one who does not fulfill the pillars of the salah, does not completely and fully complete the pillars of the salah, then his salah is null and is void and is not correct and is not accepted. Because the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he commanded this man to go back and repeat the prayer. And he did not merely teach him after he came, but rather he made him repeat the prayer. also the hadith is an evidence at the same time that one who is ignorant and prays out of ignorance incorrectly, that he is not commanded to go back and repeat the previous prayers. So in this case, the Messenger ﷺ, he saw how he prayed, and he commanded him to repeat this specific prayer, and he taught him and made him repeat the prayer. So at the time when the Messenger ﷺ taught him, he became knowledgeable of how to pray, and so he was commanded to repeat the prayer because he was in the same time of that prayer which he did not do correctly. However, the Messenger ﷺ did not command him to go back and make up all of his previous prayers. So from that we collect that if one was ignorant and he came to know that he's not commanded to go back and make up those previous prayers that he was ignorant in. The hadith is also an evidence of, and it shows us clearly how the teachers are supposed to be. That the Messenger ﷺ towards this man who did not know how to pray, he was kind towards him, and he spoke to him with good words, and he sallallahu alaihi wasallam had showed him mercy and kindness rather than harshness and any form, of course, of ill speech or harshness or the likes. This was not the way of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, especially when he was teaching the people sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and rather he was kind to him. And as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the ayah, فَبِمَا رَحْمَةٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ لِنْتَ لَهُمْ, and it was with mercy of Allah that you were soft towards them and kind towards them. وَلَوْ كُنْتَ فَظًّا غَلِيظَ الْقَلْبِ, and if you were harsh with a strong heart, لَنْفَضُّوا مِنْ حَوْلِكَ, then they would depart away from you. So the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam was kind and merciful towards the believers sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And likewise, the teachers should be kind and merciful towards their students, and one should teach the students in the best possible way, and also should do things that bring their bring their attention. For example, the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he commanded him to repeat the prayer multiple times. So this is from the good way of teaching, to do something that makes the person want to learn. It makes the people want to learn. Now, and this hadith is an evidence that, as the people of knowledge they mention, that al-istiftah, saying the dua in the beginning of the salah, and likewise seeking refuge in Allah, raising the hands, putting the hands on the chest, and the likes of these things, the position of ruku or sujood, and sitting, all of these things, how they are done, they are a recommendation and not a pillar and not an obligation in the salah. And this hadith shows us that the one who is teaching, going back to the previous point, that the teacher should teach his students the things that are most important before teaching them the things that are of lesser importance. So the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in this case, he taught the man the pillars of the salah and the obligations of the salah, rather than going and teaching him the recommended matters in the salah. Because if he is missing some of the pillars of the salah, then his salah is invalid. Whereas if he is missing some of the recommendations and recommended matters, then his salah is valid, but he would be missing out on some reward on those matters. And of course, the pillars and the obligations are far more important than the recommended matters. So the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he taught him those pillars and those obligations. And As-San'ani rahimahullah, he said in regards to the statement of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he said to him, go back and pray because you did not pray, that his statement, you did not pray, it's a clear evidence that the prayer is completely invalid, and if it is as he has not done it, not that it is incomplete, for example, that it is not perfect, it is not complete. No, it means that prayer itself is invalid. And this is why the Messenger ﷺ commanded him to go back and repeat the prayer. And those are some of the benefits of this hadith. And inshallah, in the next class, we'll start with the next chapter, which is the recitation in the salah. What does the person recite in the salah? Inshallah, we'll start with that chapter in the next class, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows us to. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت